What is up, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to expose the worst side hustles and what I advise my clients to stay away from in particular. The topic of this video might surprise you a little bit, and you might be thinking there's no such thing as a bad side hustle. Anything that gets me extra money gets me closer to my goals. And I would counter that this is a very surface level look at side hustles. After all, our most valuable resource that we have is our time. You can always make back a dollar that was lost or poorly spent, but you can't make back a lost hour or year. And this is why it is so important that you pay attention to the ROI or return on investment when you are participating in side hustles. Again, time is your most valuable resource, your most finite asset. So as I was organizing the information for this video, in my mind, all of the side hustles started lining up on this spectrum. On one end, we have the scams. These are the absolute worst side hustles because you lose money and you lose time. That's horrible. Next would be super low ROI because time is our most important asset. Then side hustles that might pay well but are extremely time consuming. And you get the idea here. I could go on, but basically at the very other end of the spectrum, we have truly passive income. And this is the absolute best side hustle because it preserves our most limited resource, which is time. I go in depth about our 7 streams of income, including our streams of passive income in this video here. So here's what's crazy. Even though scams and passive income are on complete opposite ends of the spectrum, these two side hustles are the most difficult to differentiate. This is crazy, right? These two things are completely opposite, polarized in every single way, and yet people searching for passive income stumble into scams, and they fall for these scams every day, probably even every hour. Let's take a look at some of the worst side hustles. First up is the enormous elephant in the room, and that is MLMs, or multi-level marketing companies, or pyramid schemes. Technically, they're one legal step away from a pyramid scheme. You know these: doTERRA, Young Living, Isagenix, Nu Skin, Arbonne. There's so many, there's actually hundreds of these MLMs. I am not going to sugarcoat this. These are scams. And they're not just scams because I think they're scams or that's my opinion. Let's look at the numbers. Let's dive into the data and get our conclusions from that. An extensive study was done called The Case for and Against Multi-Level Marketing by Dr. John Taylor. And if you want access to his entire findings, it's actually super interesting. Just Google FTC MLM study and the PDF will be the first result. And let me just pause here and ask the person watching this, ask you, if you have bought into an MLM previously, did you read reviews about the product and the company? Did you look at and actually calculate the numbers out, how much you would need to sell in order to just break even on the product? Did you look at the numbers when it comes to taxes? Did you understand how much tax you would need to set aside were you to make any money? Did you do your research and really look at how much people make when they enter into this particular MLM? Of course not, right? Everyone watching this is going to say no. They did not research and calculate all of those things out. Their friend was really excited. They liked the product, and that's exactly why these are so dangerous. Back to the report, definitely take a look at that report if you want to really dive deep into the data when it comes to MLMs. Like I said, it was super interesting. I spent some time looking at it, and oh my gosh, this is actually so much worse than I even thought. Here are the percentages of people that worked the MLM that lost money on this endeavor. And it's pretty safe to say if they lost money, they also lost time. Keep in mind, he had tons, like dozens and dozens of these percentages in his report. I just pulled a few that I know you guys would be familiar with. Advocare, 99.1% of their reps lost money. Arbonne, 99.94% lost money. Isagenix, 99.79%. New Skin, 99.38%. Tupperware, 99.71%, and Your Travel Biz, or YTB, 99.79% lost money. These are their workers. These are their sales reps losing money. And just to prove to you that I didn't just pick the worst ones to prove my point, the average of every single MLM that he lists and researched was 99.6 lost money. Guys, 99.6 lost money on this endeavor. Do I even need to keep going? Do I need to go on about how these are scams? Are there any questions? Any skeptics still? Also, if you truly believe beyond a shadow of a doubt that you will be in the 0.4% of people that actually net anything at all in these MLMs, why would you work in an MLM? Why not put that hard work, that effort, that talent into creating a real business that you actually get to build and have as your own? I know a lot of people would say that what's holding them back from starting a real business is the overwhelm of it all and the amount of risk that goes into creating a startup and literally starting from the ground. And this is true. There's a lot of hard work that goes into creating a real business. But here's the truth. The percentage of people that create a brand new startup that ends up being a success is so much higher than 0.4%. I have like 11 exclamation points after that. That's so important. That just blows this whole argument out of the water. You are literally looking at a 0.4% success rate when it comes to an MLM, which should be so much scarier. Think of it this way. You're looking at a 99.6% fail rate when it comes to an MLM. A lot of people have jumped off the MLM ship in the last 5 years, but the strategy in the MLM form is really taking on a completely new identity as of late. And this looks like companies like Forex, direct sales companies that are selling clothing and teas and books and workouts. It's not just protein powder and essential oils anymore. If you are still hanging on and buying inventory and lying to yourself, my advice would be for you to get out of the MLM business today. A gambling addict also convinces himself or herself just one more time and it's going to work. I know it's going to work this time. I said I wasn't going to sugarcoat this, but I know I also can't end the MLM section on that note. So I want you guys to know that these companies very intentionally prey on stay-at-home moms and they prey on people who want to work a flexible side hustle. We've all made mistakes when it comes to money, and I've made really, really big ones. Last year, I spent over $3,000 on a service that was a complete waste of money. I literally could have just set $3,000 on fire and it would have been the exact same. Actually, it probably would have saved me some time. The difference is I didn't go back to the service provider and throw more money at it and throw more time at it, praying that that would fix the problem. I cried a lot. I eventually swallowed my pride and I completely cut ties, and that's what you need to do too. 2 other side hustles that I would recommend that everyone stay away from are surveys and money-making apps. And I don't think that these are necessarily scams. I think that they're all pretty upfront, that you're not gonna make bank doing surveys and using these money-making apps. However, these are bad options because the ROI is so incredibly low. You can literally make the same amount or maybe even more just from the interest from a high yield savings account or cash back. And that's 100% passive. You don't have to spend any wasted time trying to make this little bit of money. And I've heard the arguments for surveys in particular. People defend them, saying that they can do it while they watch TV or when they're bored. And I get that, but I also believe that at some point, it's really important for you to be off the clock. If you are truly diligent about doing these in your spare time, all of a sudden you wake up and you have to basically be in some sort of work mode from sun up to sundown, and that's just not sustainable and it's not healthy. I believe that it would be so much better to work really hard for a shorter amount of time and make, let's say, like $100 a week, which is way more than you would make taking surveys, and then be able to take Friday, Saturday, and Sunday completely off from your side hustle. Or you could take Monday through Thursday off from your side hustle. Don't underestimate the value of resting and playing and just enjoying life. And also, don't get hustled by your side hustle. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you got value out of this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.